It's Tigs tonight.
It's Tigs tonight coming to you from the snow-covered Gulf South. Tonight we're going to talk about these southern snowstorms, Netflix price hikes, Post Malone's brand new Oreo. Billy Corgan had a surprising guest or an encounter, I guess, really, with Bill Burr, and why TikTok loaded iPhones are the new hot commodity. May even get a guest appearance tonight, a drop in from JR the Handler. So, hope everybody is doing well. Hope you're all staying warm. If you're anywhere in the South, I mean, this has been wild to say the least, and a lot's happened since we last went live. I went to BARP, and it was fantastic. And there's a whole lot more coming from that later this week in our Bubba exclusive show. I mean, obviously, it snowed 8 to 10 inches here. I've been playing. I'm a kid. You can go to our YouTube and see some videos that have already put out, but hadn't had much of a chance to totally even. I haven't even started editing stuff, like nothing from BARP beyond a little bit of stuff that I put out. Just been gone, and hey, that's okay. That is okay. That'll happen from time to time, but a lot's happened. There's a lot more to come, and the boys and I will be catching up. But let me see who all is in here. And I saw there was some folks talking right off the bat. Oh, yeah. There he is, the Fat Pig, everybody. The Fat Pig is in the house. It looks like we may be getting a person to join us here in just a second. Looks like JR the Handler is trying to come in as well. Don't see his video feed. We'll pop him up when he pops in. Let's see who else we've got. Oh, yes, the one, the only Brian Gilson, ladies and gentlemen. Brian Gilson in here interacting with the Fat Pig. And, of course, it's not a show if Paul Rogers is not here. What is going on, guys? Good to see all of you. Good to see all of you. I mean, looks like it's cold. Kind of reading everybody's stuff. Brian says it hopes it's going to maybe be 20 there tonight. 7 degrees in Baton Rouge, Louisiana this morning when we woke up, which you don't get that very often down here for sure. None of the snow melted. Well, a lot of the snow melted today. I'd say probably half of it melted, which was fine, but 8 to 10 inches. There's still tons on the ground. The roads are good right now, which is what the main thing. Big E is in the house. Got 5 inches of snow in South Carolina. Man, I'll tell you what, haven't had a chance to go into everything. And I'm not tonight with that, but man, Big E, clutch. Thanks for the ride, and so nice meeting you, visiting with you, talking pictures, all that stuff. So much more to come on it. Big E is the man. That is for sure. Letting me in. Okay, here is JR. JR, what's
Hey,
up?
buddy. Can you hear
What's
me?
going on? I can hear you, but I can't see you. What's going on?
Yeah, I do not know, brother. Every time I push start camera, it says, looks like your camera was unplugged. Plug it back in or select a different camera. Well, as we know, I'm just running the old trusty MacBook and I have unplugged nothing. So, and when I go to settings, it's my FaceTime HD camera built in, but
yeah, hey, well, we can hear you, and that's
see
the
if I
main
can go to
thing.
low def and see if that works.
Yeah, or have you restarted the whole thing and tried to just log back in?
Hey, there it is.
You fixed it? I don't see you.
Well, I popped up for a second.
Yeah. Well, you may want to just restart it. I can get this thing kind of rocking and rolling. They restart pretty quickly.
Yeah, let me do that to see if this works. Sorry, gang.
That'll work. Hey, it's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah, Big E says he had a great time, and boy, did you outkick that coverage with your wife of yours. No doubt. There is no doubt. Isn't she awesome? Man, we had so much fun. I'm going to just let y'all in on this. JR knows while he's getting everything straight, so he won't miss anything here. And I'm going to talk about it, obviously, more on the Bubba Show. We haven't recorded our Bubba Show yet. Blasey, the snow for all of us. Blasey's got obligations. We're going to record that tomorrow before we go live tomorrow night. So I'll get that out to Seth and them on Friday, and we'll talk more about it. But I haven't really even begun to just process everything. And so I need a little more time, too. That's what I'm going to reflect on tomorrow. But just real quick, I'll tell y'all the story. It's the main deal that happened. So we leave here on Thursday, I think about 1 o'clock. We finally got off. So we were supposed to rent a car. I'd scheduled one, just didn't want to put the miles on my truck or whatever. Let that go with them. Rented the car, scheduled it, whatever. Went to go get it. Had to drive across town 45 minutes to one side of town with traffic and all. It was terrible. Got there. Guess what happened? No, no car. So drive back home. I was like, well, at least the truck's ready to rock and roll. So load up the truck and we roll out. And we made a stop at one of our favorite little breweries in Hammond. Picked up some cold ones for the road. Ate. They have a good little restaurant across the street. Got a little hamburger. And away we go. We're going to Tallahassee. Well, we get to Diamond Head, Mississippi. There's a truck stopped, and I'm coming up to it. I'm at a dead stop. There's a car in front of me, stopped. I'm looking in the rearview mirror. I'm looking. I see this truck or this white van coming. I could tell they were slowing down. They slowed down. We're all at a stop for, I don't know, 8-10 seconds or so. And vroom, here comes this silver Malibu coming in about 55 miles an hour, probably, hits the van behind me. He's riding the freaking wall of the deal. There were concrete barriers. They were doing road work in between the median. Hits the freaking wall. Does a hell of a job driving. Got to give him credit here. Rides the wall. Bam, hits my truck. Hits the back. Bam, hits around where the gas cap is. That's it. And my door. Hits my door. Rolls on, does not hit the car in front of me, and then bam, slams right into the back of the 18-wheeler. And he hit it hard. If he had been that much, a yard, if he would have been a foot and a half, if he had been a half a yard more over to the right, that dude doesn't walk away from that. He hit it hard. Get out, needless to say, truck's a little banged up. It all happens. And whatever. Get out of there. I'm like, well, it's drivable. We're in Diamond Head, Mississippi, about 500 miles from Tampa at this point. So we roll on. I had to stop. Stopped at an AutoZone or Advanced Auto Parts. Got a new tail light and put plastic, duct tape, doctored that thing up. And then we get back to going. Get to Biloxi, tire going down. Like, this just can't get any worse. And we pull into a Hampton Inn. Lord bless us, we got lucky. Pulled into a Hampton Inn. The tire's at like 22 pounds of pressure going down. I get out, and it's the opposite tire, not the tire that got hit. These are relatively, they're probably at about 60% of their life. They're not old. Bam, flat tire. Fortunately, right across the street, what is there? A tire shop. And they could not have been nicer. I will give them a shout out whenever I tell this story on Bubba. I don't have their name in front of me right now. It's terrible, but World of Tires or something like that. They were fantastic and came over to the Hampton Inn, jacked the truck up, took the tire off, realized it wasn't fixable, got a new tire, put it back on, looked over everything. I'm like, what would you do? Would you keep rolling to Tampa or would you kind of hang out here? Keep in mind, this is my wife's 50th birthday, and she was, not real pleased when we pulled into that Hampton Inn parking lot of like, this just sucks. Because, I didn't know if we should keep going on or not. The truck had a little shimmy, but I was going to keep pressing on. And then that new tire, the shimmy was the tire going down, and we hit it, and it became a thing of determination that we were flat out going to make it to BARP, which we did. And we just had a fun little adventure along the way with it and had a nice little trip. We got to talk a lot, catch up. It was fantastic. Couldn't have been better. I'd do it 1,000 times over again. Glad I didn't fly. Glad that we went through all this. Wish I'd have been in the rental car instead of my truck. I get to deal with that tomorrow, so that's going to be fresh on my mind whenever I have these conversations. But that's the story. Y'all deserve to hear it first here on Tigs Tonight. So that's what happened. Made it to BARP. Long story long. Got to, we were in Tampa for 22 hours. We were not there even a full day because we got a little, obviously, all this pushed everything behind, but we got everything done and everything accomplished that we were trying to get done. So, I mean, that's the main thing. That is the main thing. Yes. So anyhow, more to come from that. I did get that pic, Big E. I think if it's what you sent last night, I saw it. I don't think I responded to you yet. I've been crazy. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I am the biggest kid in this neighborhood when it comes to snow. And knowing on this trip, that was the one thing was I got to get back to Baton Rouge. It's supposed to snow. It's going to snow 10 inches. They say that's crazy. I don't believe that, but I got to get back just in case things do happen. It all played out exactly like they said it would, which is wild, totally wild. Yeah, it's crazy, Paul. More to come from that. More to come from that. Nick the Gun Guy. It was very nice to meet you too, my man. I can't talk. Very nice to meet you. Got to visit with so many people. That's a thing. Haven't sat down with my notes. I like to be kind of ADD a little bit. I like to be organized and have the names of everybody I talk to. So many people. I just haven't even put those thoughts together yet. I haven't had time. It's been fun. I've had a blast. I feel like I've been on vacation for a week, and I have basically been, and I wasn't prepared to be on vacation for a week. So anyhow, all of that coming to you. T-Wayne, get ready to bend over tomorrow. I tell you what, dude, I'm sore already from bending over that. Oh God, I shouldn't say that. That's terrible. Let's move on from that. Building snowmen and rolling snowballs, not easy on when you're 47 years old. And I fell down yesterday. That's all part of it. It's just wild. But while we wait on JR, hopefully his stuff will come back up and we can get him back in here. Let's jump into some entertainment and celebrity news because this is Tigs Tonight. We're talking about trending topics. Not going to lie, haven't been able to dive into a ton of stuff. I've been outside having fun. I can see in this, got a little sun. That snow's bright. The snowpack in Baton Rouge, bright. Rainy, what is up, Rainy? So good to meet Rainy, get to hug her neck, visit with her for a good bit, like super big highlight. So many good highlights from the BART party. And just the people, didn't say this yet, just the people are there. It's like a family and a cult all at the same time. And I say that very nicely in a good way, but it really is just everybody's so dadgum nice. But anyhow, to entertainment and celebrity news, Netflix is raising their prices again, which, I mean, they've had an increase in subscriptions over the last bit, probably because the NFL did not hurt. The Tyson Paul fight did not hurt them with that. And then, but your bonus, here you go, everybody. We have more people coming in, paying us more money, but we're going to give you, since we keep raising them, like every 3 to 6 months, you get to pay another $1 for our entertainment. Eventually, I mean, all of this stuff, all this on-demand streaming, cutting the cord, like that whole term, that's been gone. And things are getting so expensive. YouTube TV. I love YouTube TV. Football season's almost over, and I'm going to drop YouTube TV ASAP just because I don't want to pay it. It's just stupid, all these a la carte things that you have to pay for. What are your thoughts on that, JR? Oh, he was there, and then he's still. Poor old JR, he's having issues with that computer. We're gonna have to get him a new. We're gonna have to dig into the coffer of funds and get him a new laptop, just like Blasey just got one. So we got to get him one. Yes, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure for sure. Um, okay, wow. T-Mobile pays for Netflix for Big E. It is all going up. Terry, do you have any thoughts of why that is? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Everything's going up. I get that, but why do we keep having to pay more for stuff that is streaming, especially whenever are starting to have advertisers and stuff like that? It's not like it used to be. I'm sure that they don't get the advertising dollars that they used to either, for that matter. So I don't know. But anyhow, yeah, Netflix going up, dadgum again. Big E, that Neil Brown internet. That is funny. That is funny. Okay, that actually, Nick, that makes sense. I didn't really think about that. Yeah, the WWE acquisition, most likely. Terry says that's a huge rabbit hole to go down, and that isn't a structure for Tigs tonight, is it? No, we'll have to do that one on a Tigs just a regular Tigs bit show. JR, where art thou? I think it's just unbelievable. We got to blame the cold weather or something. Something's happening. It's like all of us have technical issues here lately. 2025, we're trying to go live more. Now we haven't in the last week, but when we do, things are happening. Blow a transformer. Thank God in all of this snow. I was worried about that. If that was going to happen, it's held up. Knocking on wood, it is held up. Some other news. Post Malone has a new Oreo coming out for those who care about Post Malone and his Oreo swag. JR, let's try this again.
Hey.
There he is. All right. There he is.
Good gracious.
Goodness gracious, man. I'm sorry that you have had these kind of issues, but hey, you're back. Whatever
yes,
it was.
Sir. I guess my computer doesn't like the cold weather either.
Well, that's what I was just saying. I was wondering, has it been cold out there? Have you let it has it just cold out there in your studio, or have you had a heater on or anything?
Oh no, I've got I actually got central air and heat back here in the studio.
Oh
so,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So it's nice and toasty back here, but the walk between the house and getting back here, I laid salt out. And so I've got a path, but no ice yet. But you can feel the temperature dropping, and all this that melted today is just going to be a dang mess. I drove around just a little around Orange Beach and Gulf Shores today, just to get out of the house, go get some gas, see what was open. Tried to go get a king cake. Rouse's was closed. Highly disappointed. Ended up with some Snicker bars and some cookies from the gas station. Was the only dessert I could find out, and. Yeah, it's sloshy. Anywhere the trees were overhanging, there were shadows behind any of the big condos and stuff, big patches of snow and melt, lot of water everywhere. And as soon as if it gets down to the low teens, like they're saying it's going to tonight, it is going to be a mess.
It's going to be a mess. Yeah, everybody needs to stay off the roads. Baton Rouge, actually, the roads here by my house, everything kind of cleared up today. There's still snow. It didn't get, I think 36 was the high today. Some of the snow melted, probably. Maybe not half, maybe 30% of it.
Same.
Tomorrow it's all going to be gone. Or most of it will. Just places in the sun and roofs. But if it was in the shade, it did not melt whatsoever. But yeah, the roads here were not bad, but I would not go at night because exactly that stuff that's melted. Now overpasses and all, they were still, if there's like right by our house, there's a fresh market. We went and we were just walking around looking for a hill, trying to find a hill this morning. One last look, there just aren't many around my house that are great.
Yeah, I feel you.
So I was like, dang, that's the only thing we didn't get to do. And we'll talk about that on our TV show that we record tomorrow, but didn't have a good hill, nor did I have a good way to get to like the levee or something like that. Cause I'd have gone skiing on the levee, but we walked to Fresh Market and half the parking lot was melted, just concrete. And then the other looked like it had just snowed. Like nobody had ever walked on it. Still all the same snow. It's because beneath it's a parking garage. So it was it didn't
Yeah.
have a chance to get that little warm air. Just
Yeah, it's basically all the walkways and streets around here melted because of the surface temperature, difference with the material. But anywhere it was just grass, like the baseball fields in the park, any of that stuff. Nothing was melted.
right. Stacy G. Oh, you're just fine, Stacy. So good to get to meet her at BARP as well. Just so many people, man, that I got to meet. Can't wait to tell y'all all about it. And JR doesn't know. He knows a little bit. He knows what I told him, which was not just as I went along. Just a
Yeah,
picture here and there, and just yeah.
I'm
But
pumped.
man,
I can't wait to hear about it.
yeah. I mean, we had to wait on Blasey. Nick, the gun guy, says that all of this technical issues, everything's Blasey's fault.
Pretty
It
much.
all started with the fight that he had with CenturyLink.
Yep.
Really and truly,
Yep.
we just started having technical problems after that.
Yep.
Don't know what's going on there, but whatever. JR, did you hear me talking about Netflix raising their prices again?
No, again?
Again. Yeah.
They just
By
did. There's got to be
like
some kind
$1.
of by $1. Nickel and dime you to death. Well,
Nick the gun guy made a good point. I was like, what could this be? He thinks maybe WWE acquisition. That would make sense, but they just keep going up and up and up,
it's almost gotten to the point where we should have just kept paying for DirecTV $175 a month and get all your normal channels and shows, basically. Because that was the problem. DirecTV went from being normal cable price that we all grew up loving. College cable was like $20 or $25. You got 30
Right.
channels, the little black box with the red numbers on it. That's all we really need in hindsight.
Yeah.
With a couple of premium channels and all your locals, the ESPN, weather, all that. But DirecTV cornered the market. They had it going on for a while after regular cable faded out, but they kept inching that bill up to where if you got 4 boxes and 4 different rooms and this, and you're using their equipment, I mean, you're paying over $200 a month for cable, and everybody's like, no. They give you a little credit to keep you hanging on. We did the dance with them for a while before we finally cut the cable in Homa. And then but then internet started cheap, and then it's inched up. All these streaming services have inched up. You're not paying $8 here and $9 there and $35 for internet. Now you're paying $100 for internet. You're paying $30 for each of these services, so you're paying the $200 something anyway.
Yeah, you're back to what you were paying before if you have.
But now it's just more difficult because you got to go try to figure out how to find the channel you want to watch the what on, and figure out if you want to watch a movie, you got to almost look it up on IBM or something to see who's streaming it free or where you can get it.
See how you can
It's just
find
pitiful.
it. And then you may get 3 of them, like Lethal Weapon 1, 3, and 4 are on HBO. But if you want to watch 2, it's only on Amazon Prime or something. Something like that.
Don't be itching on a snow day to watch Cannonball Run, because there's a dance you don't want to do. You might as well run the Cannonball Run, because you can watch 2, 3, 4, and a 5 that I didn't know existed. But finding Cannonball
the original
1, you're gonna have to buy that one. You're going to have to pay rent or buy that sucker. And
that's about right.
It's worth it, but still, it's just principle there. Tubi's pretty cool. I tell you, I've been watching a lot of Tubi. Cool. Yeah. Because they have random stuff. After you've gone through if you've had Netflix for 5 years, you're just hoping they put something new on, because you've seen everything you would like to watch on that thing.
Right. That's exactly
same with Prime, which I love Prime because you can get a little deep on Prime, but still, same thing. After you've watched, then you start trying to stretch out and watch some stuff and realize it's some old stuff like you and I made and in college or something. It's not good. It's just B class movies and stuff. And then so the Tubi though has throwback things. I mean, just random stuff that weren't necessarily big hits, but just a lot of random movies. And I've enjoyed that lately. And and the commercials on there, which this is the kind of commercials I like. Give me 2 15-second commercials and 1 30-second commercial, let's call it. The problem with that, too, is television got to where commercials took up half the show. You got tired of waiting through the commercials. And streaming fixed that, but then now streaming, if you want streaming with or without your commercials, that's a different price point. And depending on the service, depending on what kind of streaming you get. So,
well, and speaking of TV shows and commercials, that's exactly what we run into. Like when we record our TV show, it's 44 minutes, but it's an hour-long show. So obviously 16 minutes of commercials in that 44-minute show, which, by the way, starts in 2 minutes on Right Now TV. TV. So y'all don't leave us. Whatever is showing there tonight, and I can't remember the show, which is terrible. I know it's new. It's whatever we recorded last week. What did we record last week?
This would be we did the trivia show, and then we did boy howdy.
Terrible.
Uh,
Was it
Oh.
no, it was questions, Q&A, rapid fire Q&A and stuff. Wasn't
yes,
it?
rapid
Isn't that
fire
what we did?
Q&A.
Yeah.
Yes, that was
Which
fun.
that was fun, which we're not wrapping up yet. But tonight when we close out here in a few minutes, we're going to hit 3 or 4 of those rapid fire questions just because I think it's kind of fun to do. Yeah, so that show is out tonight. It will drop Monday everywhere else. So if you miss it tonight, it comes on again at midnight on Friday night or Saturday morning, technically, and midnight on Sunday morning as well. So you can catch it then. You can catch the last little half of it whenever we wrap this up too. And right now TV is on Twitter, and you can go to their Twitter page and watch them live as well if that's easier for you. Some guys prefer to just are mainly on Twitter all day long too, more so than the other networks. So
yeah,
social.
I would say that I was going to say that mention that right now on TV I like the way they do their commercials. Like you said, it's an hour show. You're only getting 16. You're not getting 28 minutes of commercials.
That's exactly right.
They have it blended in, and even their other shows. I watch some of their hunting and fishing shows, and then I watch the wrestling show if I catch it, or some of the different wrestling shows they have on. And same thing there. The commercials aren't so repetitive and lengthy that you lose interest and start thinking about something else. It's a minute or two, and then you're back on the show. I like that.
That's right. Exactly. Fresh Market, the excellent chain grocery, Paul asked. Yes, I have one right across the street from me.
Nice.
Very nice. I like that place. They like
Hey,
themselves too,
speaking of
but I like
grocery
the
stores,
place.
I want to bring up something and talk about on here if we've got a few people that want to mention it, or if anybody is into this. I didn't know this. I noticed at our Rouse's Grocery, which Rouse's is it's Louisiana based out of Thibodaux, kind of got a nice niche down here on the Gulf Coast, in the southern Louisiana, Alabama, Florida Panhandle, Louisiana, Texas. Great grocer, love their regionality stuff. It's and just the stuff they have is good. It's a good blend. But I do like the other grocery stores. I grew up on Kroger, Winn-Dixie, Piggly Wiggly. I don't hate Publix. I like Fresh Market. Whole Foods is fine. I like about any grocery store. You can find what you want. Now, sometimes you go in somewhere and you realize you just got to know what you're shopping for when you walk in. See what kind of store you're in, know what you're shopping for. If you're going to like a Pick 5, a 10 plus kind of deal, you're buying on a plus 10% kind of thing. You're going to stock up on a big bulk of some kind of meat to feed. You know what I mean? Yes. Huge thing of some off-brand cereal. You just got to know what you're going for. But anyway, I love Rouse, the Rouse as we call it.
Good people.
Notice the other week they have these drinks in there. I'm not on the alcohol anymore, but I'm buzzing through. I'm always looking for some nice soda water or something cool to make my little mocktails and just some flavor drink stuff. And I noticed they have these. Don't really even know how. I took a picture a couple weeks ago, then I finally bit the bullet and got some. But they have these. I guess they're Delta 8 or Delta 9 THC drinks. Pre-made drinks.
Oh,
and they have several different brands and flavors, and I didn't know what to think about it. Water-soluble THC powder, locally made, no sodium. Well, I get to reading on it. All of these, or most of these that they sell, are based out of New Orleans. They're all made there. They're made in Louisiana. It's local companies. Like this one's Fleur de Leaf. Instead of Fleur de Leaf, Fleur de Leaf. Pretty clever. The other names are like that too. What was one? Crescent 9. Instead of Delta 9, Crescent 9.
Yeah.
But this is a coconut pineapple seltzer THC, so 8 milligram deals. And how do they sell these at the store? This is going to be a thing because
Bubba had. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. But Bubba had those at Barp called Moon Tea. Yeah, I had a few of those.
Now I know when I travel, I have gotten some similar type drinks from dispensaries across the country when they have in legal states. They have pre-made drinks like that. Now I understand how they could sell that, but how can I get this at Rouse? And let me tell you,
because
they work.
Delta 9.
This is not a gimmick.
No, it's not a gimmick. It works. It's because it's Delta 9. I don't know how the laws are different, but I mean, if we're just uh,
That'd be
yeah,
like saying you can't eat tomato sandwiches, but you can eat, you can't eat, but you can eat organic tomato sandwich. You know what I mean? You can
that's
only eat
right.
I don't understand how they're going to do this, because if you get that there, everybody's got this big issue with taking drug tests for work. That's been a thing I've had a problem with for years. I'm like, how can someone do something weeks before and it still affect them, and then do something else weeks before and it doesn't affect them? I don't understand that. But people taking the test. But if you can get this stuff at gas stations, and now you can get these at the grocery store, and I'm sure if you take a test, you're not going to pass it. I don't understand how
No, not a chance.
I don't
Yeah.
understand how they're figuring
Well,
this out. I'm sure I know the reason. I'm sure I know how it's figured out. There's something going on.
Hobby's puppets, probably because it's covered under the farm hemp bill. So I think that there is like a back channel way
Yeah.
that they have been
Well,
able to.
Yeah, from what I looked up, it said that the hemp can only have like 0.03% THC when you pull it from.
But
So
I guess
then what do? They just strain it down till it's strong enough to put in this?
Get a bunch of damn hemp, I guess.
Bunch of weak hemp, boil it
I mean,
down.
we need to. Number one, I've got a guy in Oklahoma who is a grower, and we've talked, he would love to come on the show and talk about all of his process. I'd like to go to his farm and see what all he does, like legit grower,
Yeah.
and I know that he knows all of the, like, all the questions that we have about that, he can answer. We need to bring him on. We need to have, his name's Nate. We need to have Nate on.
I had a friend in San Diego went and checked all that out. This has been 5-6 years ago, but it changes so much. This didn't exist 5 or 6 years ago. It was just starting,
Right.
so
He says, Hobby's Puppet says, in fact, edibles the only way to get legal THC products in Louisiana, unless it's from a dispensary.
well, I'm in Alabama, and Alabama's worse than there. That's what I don't get.
Oh yeah,
Alabama's the one.
You can't in Alabama.
But you can get you can get this stuff at the gas stations too, because I know I've got a friend who I'll tell a quick funny story. I'd get him to tell it someday. And I'm telling y'all, this story about my dad and $5 gas station is friggin' hilarious. I can't wait for him to tell it.
Yeah,
But I have a friend who was going to the doctor because his blood pressure was a little high, and he thought, hey, I'll take some of this CBD. It's supposed to relax you. So he goes to a gas station and gets a 4-pack of CBD gummies, not realizing it had Delta 9 in it too. Ate all 4 of them, like 150 milligrams worth or something crazy. Gets to the doctor. Not only does his blood pressure go up, but is totally freaking out. Has to try to drive home with the whole deal. And he has never done anything like that ever, and was doing it thinking it was going to. Everybody says it relaxes you. How should you do that? It'll relax me before I go to the doctor.
You eat all backfire. 4 of them.
It's just that baffles me how they can do some of these things and not other. And the simple fact is, what they should do is just do the normal thing like everybody else and get rid of all this crazy weird stuff, because it's too confusing. You're confusing everybody who doesn't already. Most people don't already know what they're looking for.
By all means, don't stop selling it. Don't stop selling it. It's a great product. It's one of the best products. We're gonna keep the greatest. It is
greatest. And they really are. I love them. I'm telling you what, that gets you. If everybody doesn't believe them, get a Crescent 9 strawberry lemonade, 50 milligram, and take that sucker in over about an hour. Sleep like a baby.
Sleep like a baby. Bob Cook. What the
no
legend,
hangover either.
The myth, the man, and no hangover. Brian says that you look noticeably slimmer, and good for you.
Oh man, thanks, buddy.
And,
I actually got on the scales on the way up to Arkansas this past week, and was down. Surprisingly, I didn't realize because I've been doubling down on desserts and stuff, but just cutting out the booze.
It's amazing how your metabolism is fine as long as you're not drinking as I'm having a beer. But you know, next week begins dry January for me.
I get it. Hey, and everybody do what they want. That's what I was telling some buddies of mine working the liquor business. Don't spread it around. I said, y'all ain't going out of business. And I got my fill. I've done pitched in my bill on that one enough.
That's right. That's exactly right. Stacy G says it's amazing how not drinking alcohol can take off the extra pounds and even make you look younger. And it
Yeah,
does.
it's amazing what happens when you're not slowly poisoning yourself to death. It's
It
just
really
absolutely
is,
incredible.
isn't it? I
It's
mean,
absolutely incredible.
unbelievable. Your body just starts to react in a positive way. Like,
Yeah,
hey, thanks
dude.
for not.
And between us, man, I was down. I was surprised myself because I was down. I'm down lower than I've been in 15 years. I bet.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, for real. It was crazy.
Good job.
Yeah, quick on that. Went up to Arkansas. Had a good run up there. Did our first show of the year. Checked that off the list. Got to see all our fine family and friends up in the great state of Arkansas and Little Rock there. Got to visit my grandmother on the way there and back. Had to haul butt back to beat Snowmageddon to the front door down here in Gulf Shores. Got back in time to get everything wrapped up and ready as we could. Still thought I was calling BS on it until it started flaking. And then about 3 hours into the Blizzardville, I was like, "Holy crap!" I just couldn't imagine it, dude. We had almost 9 inches at my house, give or take. Some places in my neighborhood, almost close to a foot.
Oh yeah.
And we haven't had that much snow since 1880 something, and then it wasn't even this much.
No, and
it
I
was
don't
half
know
this
over
100 years ago. It's crazy.
So I mean, it's truly a thing that will only I highly doubt we ever see it again in our lifetime. I'm glad we got to see it. I'm glad that it was down here.
Yeah.
And that we didn't even have to leave our house. It's not like we were on vacation somewhere. We were at home in this damn winter wonderland. Winter wonderland.
I know, right? Hey, brother, it ain't going nowhere because we got to Arkansas 5 days after theirs, and they still had mounds in the shade up there.
Oh yeah,
because they had a wave of this, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. So we were there right after that, and it's going to be I told Sharice I wish this would have happened like in the middle of December though, instead of the middle of January. Well, it could have been white Christmas,
Yeah, exactly. Everybody have their Christmas lights up.
Yeah,
see that. Now I did see some cool stuff of it snowed. Somebody had their purple and gold lined driveway for Mardi Gras. And snow covered it last night, but it's still, you could see it light up underneath it like it was in a snow globe. I mean, just some freaking
good, my little
cool stuff.
Solar powered yard lights and stuff were kind of barely glowing through the tops of the snow yesterday because they're a foot and so out of the ground, but so I dusted some off to make it like a glow pattern in the snow. It was incredible. It's beautiful. It's something you never thought I was going to see.
No.
I know we'll go over this more on the show tomorrow, but no one was as prepared as they could have been. No one really knew what to do. We're not prepared. Our houses aren't built for this, with flatter roofs, all that stuff, pool enclosures getting shut down. I luckily had me a 5-gallon bucket of salt from the last time because I lived in Nashville 15 years. It gets cold up there. And we have snow and ice up there. This was as much as I ever saw at Nashville, though. Maybe not. I don't even know if I ever saw this much at one time in Nashville. And this was pretty snow too here.
Oh, so pretty powdery,
just pretty because we had no rain. But I can tell you this, and here the next day or two, it is going to be a mess. No one realizes why the North looks like the way it does. And no offense, North, not y'all. It's not, and y'all clean it up. But right after the winter, it looks like crap everywhere because everything's muddy, everything's salty, all the things broken, branches, this, that. It takes a minute. And that's why everything looks dingy for a sec.
Yeah.
So everybody, it ain't over. When this stuff gets up, there's going to be some cleaning and some scrubbing. The plumbers are about to make some money.
Oh yeah.
Pressure washer folks are about to make car detailers, car wash places about to make some money. Going to be all kinds of stuff happening now. And I didn't see too many trees down, and I think we got real lucky on that because had we had precipitation, as in like rain or sleet before the cold instead of the powder, boy, we'd have had some problems.
Oof, it would have been terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been terrible. JR, let's hit a couple more topics and then we'll call it a night because we keep this show light. Tomorrow night probably will not be coming on until 8:30ish. Bubba Army, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
We'll probably come on at 8:30. Let me blow it back up, JR.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Hey, and look, 30 calories in this drink. Booyah. Gotta love it.
I mean, you can't beat it with a stick. That's another thing that we haven't finished. That whole thought of Southern sayings, that's one of them. Can't beat it with a stick. Wonder where that came from. I'll look it up.
Hey, how small is Blasey's ring?
So what they did, they ordered us. They just guessed, and
Yeah,
they all should fit. They're all like,
that's what I figured.
yeah, they're all, yeah, they did not get him like an 8 or whatever. So
I wish they would.
I
We all
know.
get to wear eyes. Blasey has to like hang his around his neck like some girlfriend in high
It looks
school
like-
with a class ring. He's with us. We'll show him ours at the door. He's with us. Pull your down, Blasey.
Those rings are incredible. I mean, like a
Blasey's
damn
gonna
Super
run.
Bowl ring.
Blasey's gonna jog down there. Maybe that's what we should do. We should, after Mardi Gras, we should see if somebody wants to loan us their float, and we'll tie it to Blasey next year and let him pull us down to Barp. Because, buddy, he ain't missing next year. He's scheduling things now to clear his schedule for next year.
I mean, he only knew for 6 months, but I mean, that's a whole.
You got,
other
kids and jobs.
conversation.
Kids and jobs.
Kids and
his
jobs.
His Hale will be a year older, year more, and
Exactly.
all that.
Exactly. No, I got to mess with him, but
Yeah.
so man, I don't know if you've seen this today. I saw this tonight just before we went on, and I had to talk about it. It's the damn title of this show. Why people are selling TikTok iPhones and making money. Have you heard about this?
I have not.
Yeah, so of course, the TikTok ban came and went, got extended for a little bit or whatever they're going to fix, but you cannot download TikTok in the App Store. And I tried. I looked just to verify this. There were news articles, obviously, on Google Trends. It's not going to be fake news there, but
Right.
I tried it too, and it is not there. You cannot
Good.
download TikTok. So interesting. I don't know if it's going to come back up or not, but people are paying thousands of dollars to buy phones that have it already installed. So, like, I mean, number one, I want to get, if Terry's still in there, I got to get his take on this thing. He understands technology better than anybody, but I mean, you're going to have to sell your iCloud. You're just giving them your iCloud account, because if you wipe your phone or restore your phone, then the app is gone.
Unless you couldn't you go on the app though and change the user inside the app?
Maybe. I don't.
I don't know.
You
I
can't, if you
I
don't,
did
well, no,
TikTok
well,
for
yeah,
like
you can
3
no, you
days
can-
and realized it was the devil, and I left.
Oh no, you can totally change the username, but if you've deleted the app, you can't re-download the app. So if you have it already, it's going to be on your iCloud account. So I don't know what I don't know what the hell people are thinking. Like, this isn't smart for them. But if somebody wants to give me $30,000 right now for my phone, you can have it. I'll open up a whole. I'm going to take my credit card and all that off of it, but you can have my account. I'll open a new one.
Yeah.
$30,000. You could have my phone. iPhone 16 Pro. It's a good phone up for
Hey.
grabs.
Yeah, there you go. It's got TikTok on it too.
It does. It
There
does
you go.
have TikTok.
That's what
Posted
they
on
want.
it today.
Watch,
Posted
everybody will
little-
spend all this money buying these phones, and they'll turn TikTok back on the regular, and everybody will be like, "Shit."
Well, it's back on. I mean, I posted
Yeah,
there
you just
today.
can't
I mean,
download it, huh?
I guess you just can't download it, but if you're on there, then you can still do it.
And I guess that just messes up a lot of people who use it for a revenue stream for that use it for work stuff. But because in my opinion, I would think you would just pivot to another platform if you've got enough something. Tell everybody, hey, meet me over here, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I did for us. I made a little video and said, go to our website.
And
And
if you've got 20
over
million
there.
followers, if you lose 1 million in the transfer or half, they'll show back up, I'm sure.
they'll eventually get back over there, especially if all you have is YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Then
Yeah, and because that's what I'm saying. There's other stuff, and shit just happens. Everything, all these are going to be gone. MySpace was here, it's gone. This was gone. Chat rooms, little things are going to keep changing. We won't be on Twitter and all this 20 years from now. Probably we'll be on something different by then.
yeah.
It'll be close, same thing, a little different. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know.
I
I
mean,
get
I
it.
don't
People
mind-
losing their money. Will get a damn job's what I can tell you. If that's all you
Well, I
have to
think
do, something else. Diversify. Hey, I mean, because it's any business. Hell, you think the guy who made wooden carriages was pissed the first time he saw a Model A coming down the road?
you
just
know he
do
was
something else, man. Sorry.
Exactly.
I mean,
You
life
know
ain't
he
fair.
was.
Nobody. They said people were calling 911 because damn TikTok got shut down. I was like,
Yeah, I
you
know,
got
isn't
to
that
be
crazy?
kidding me.
I mean, they bake the same damn videos are on Reels on Facebook and YouTube and on whatever Shorts on YouTube. I mean, it's all there, like the same stuff. It's
Same stuff.
not the end of the world. It really isn't. But Yeah, I guess people just I don't know, man. I don't know.
Uh,
It's just but you've got to always be prepared for a business to shut down and a new one to evolve, and there'll probably be another company that comes along. I don't really like China having all of my data and all of that stuff. So,
mm-mm.
but the damage is done for
Yeah,
me. It's
yeah.
like, well,
Well, we can
they
thank
know.
Nixon for all this.
Do what?
China was an agricultural society until Nixon decided to prop them up. So I mean, if we want to get serious about it, we created the monster that we're trying to fight off. Once again,
But
good
they're
job.
not
But I'll
going
say this
anywhere.
too: there is no playbook for how. If there is, they're really good about hiding it, or all our conspiracies are true. That there is no playbook for how all this works. Everybody's just trying something, and you hope majority rules and the people make the right decisions for the right reasons. And we know that's not always the case either. So we're just all along
Right.
for the ride. Do the best you can. Live local.
It's all we can
Laugh. Love.
do.
Enjoy your
That's
time.
it.
Be thankful every day when you get up. That's all you can do.
That's right. Be kind to your neighbors,
Yeah.
just in, spirit. I like it. Couple other little things that I'll hit that I put down. Obviously, don't want to bring the show down, but I saw, and I haven't watched anything, but apparently there was a school shooter in Nashville.
I
So
saw that, man.
I don't know a whole lot more beyond that. I hate to hear that. And then there's more fires in California. So hate to hear both of those as well. I'm sure that we will get more from this, JR, on got to see what Justin Moore thought about Trump's inauguration, being
You're right.
there and all of that stuff. So we'll probably talk about that on the Bubba
Billy
show.
Ray Cyrus killing it. Killing it.
Good God.
I can tell you this: they got to get somebody in there because, man, and we could go on days for this. Trump sure come out the hole with some controversy, didn't he? Don't waste no time getting controversy. But they're so dang out of touch. I love them all, bless them. But they're so out of touch with reality. They're the stuff they had. They had Aldean do like an hour and a half show. They had Billy Ray Cyrus get up there, hack through a song that was huge 5, 6, 7 years ago. Then what was the other? I mean, just several of those. You're like, and even the other stuff, I'm like, they picked the whitest choices you could possibly pick for these options too. Couldn't get more vanilla than anything you could imagine. Right. And like I said, outdated, just not in touch with times. I'm like, come on, y'all can make yourselves look better. Just like don't say poopy face or horse face at the end of your tweets. Let's get somebody who actually knows. Ask somebody. I bet Governor Sanders could have had some better picks for that. Not saying we don't like these people, but I'm saying if you want to get people, get some hip stuff, man.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Paul Rogers.
Carrie Underwood killed it. How about that?
I was going to say Carrie Underwood. I
don't know Carrie. I've only met her once or twice, but I'm not a fan of her football song. I'm still a Bocephus guy. I just don't think the song's that good anyway. I don't like the production on it. But she came through in the clutch. Audio was out. She went out cappella, crushed it. That was the thing too. I noticed. Yeah. Not only are they out of touch with their choice of entertainment for the evening. When you think of you could get anybody you want to show up there. That's the ones you pick. But the production team, and you would think it would just be A-list heavy hitters. I don't know. Maybe it was. Maybe I don't know what they were working with. But man, it seemed like they had production problem after production problem. Even on the live feed, there was no crowd mic, so it just didn't sound good. I was a little disappointed in all that. To be honest with you.
I think 3 days to put it all together in that rotunda. The best that. No,
it don't matter if Morgan Wallen's show got moved from here to there, or Beyonce or Taylor Swift you got 3 days. You kidding me?
You can make a damn microphone work and a backing track.
It's the president. We need to make whatever we got to make work.
Yeah,
like I said, if it was something in the rock and roll or mainstream wanted to do it, they could do it like that. You bring a couple of A-list teams in, it's done, no problem.
I just loved reading her lips of like, I'll just sing it.
Yeah,
it's like.
Go get it.
She will.
Go get it because she can.
Got this.
And that's the thing too. Billy Ray Cyrus is a badass. I don't know what happened with that. I don't know if they just asked him at the last minute, go out there and do your old. They didn't have the whole band there. It was just I don't know what was up with that, or it might have been lack of communication. I'm not sure.
Maybe he couldn't hear.
And not that I don't like Aldean. I mean, he's fine, whatever. But he did like a whole show, and I just didn't think. I'm like, I just don't see everyone digging this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Play 3 or 4 songs and then have somebody else come on.
And
when
yeah,
in
and
one of
even
those
his
kind of
stuff. I mean,
deals.
he had a big hit. He's still having big hits, but it's like these are some dated songs, a whole catalog of it. I mean, you think I don't know. I would have
I
had a little
didn't.
more diversity in there for sure.
I was in the middle of just flat out not believing what I was seeing, that snow was coming. At that point, I quit watching all that. Now we listen driving home. We had it on the inauguration just to listen.
Yeah.
All the deal coming home. But yeah,
And I don't
it,
and I don't agree with some people saying, well, they probably asked other people, they didn't show up. No, these are his buddies. He thinks these guys are cool, which is fine, and they are. But I'm just saying, I just think they should have tweaked that a little bit and done something more for more entertainers, more stuff. When you got that much plate, and some people saying, well, they might not have went and done it. And I think if anybody got asked and said no, whether it was President Trump, President Biden, President Clinton, President Obama, President Bush, 1, 2, anybody's ever asked somebody to go, you should go. That's your damn obligation as an American. You go do it. It don't matter who the president, you go, you say yes, and you respect the
you say
office, you respect the chair.
100%.
If they need you
It's
to
an
go sing
honor.
something at the inauguration, it don't matter who's getting inaugurated. That's who we voted on. That's go do your deal. So, and I don't think anybody, I mean, maybe some people would have, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm
sad
sure
if so. I'm
some
sure,
would, but
actually, I'm
it's
sure some people wouldn't, but
oh
that's
yeah,
sad too. And I
definitely.
don't know about the other side because I'm sure people went and did for the other, but
But it's an
anyway,
honor to be asked,
absolutely,
no matter who is in office.
absolutely.
I certainly wouldn't turn it down at all
I mean,
if I
we
was,
could have
able to
had,
do that.
yeah, we could have had. I mean, we could have had Stapleton. We could have had George Strait. I mean, we could
Yeah,
of all the stuff. I mean, if you want to go stay in that lane, and if you want to steer out of that, I mean, we could have had the Turnpike or the Strays or Tyler. I mean, I know Tyler Childers did Biden's, but and then get out of genre. I mean, into the big rock band, we could have had the Foo Fighters there or something. Or I mean, you know what I'm saying? We could have had the Rolling Stones. I don't know.
yeah. Just
Chicago. I mean, pick one. Leonard
I mean,
Skinner. I don't know.
I think
Not no.
you pay them enough money, they're gonna show up.
Yeah, like I said, they
Yeah.
should just go do a couple of songs. I would have done it like a festival. I'd have done like 5 songs a piece, do it like a festival. Everybody run through a
Yeah.
couple of or less because you get to play your hits, boom, 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 something else, somebody else.
30
But
minutes.
they didn't have the changeover down pat. It was just,
Yeah.
I was a little let down on all that. I can't wait to hear Justin's thoughts on it. Yeah, because he was there. In the middle of that, I get a group text from Jeff, our production manager, saying, "Anybody just see the Billy Ray deal?" I was like, "Man, I didn't. What happened?" And then before I could say it out, Joey, one of our managers, was with Justin there, said, "In person." So they're live. And then Jeff sends me the link. I'm like, "Oh my goodness."
Rough.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, rough to say the least.
And
No
then the
doubt.
video and all that, even on Aldine, I mean, his production was better, but boy, they didn't help him none. It's like watching wrestling in HD up close. It's like the wrestlers look a little better from a little farther away and a little blurry.
You've been watching, speaking of wrestling and Netflix, have you been watching any of, besides the first night, have you watched any more since then?
I haven't yet. No, I haven't yet.
I'd be curious to see what their numbers are after that first show.
Yeah.
If they've.
I'll be honest, and not that I'm knocking it because it's just like music. Some stuff's just geared to a different generation or a different market. And they're not gearing that towards me, obviously. But I wasn't watching the WWE or the AEW regularly, lately.
No.
I
I've
watch
just
a
watched
lot of
WrestleMania,
I still watch a lot of I do watch I was going on the WWE network and going in the vault looking at a lot of cool stuff. But I was watching something earlier. It was like Stan Hansen and Bruiser Brody over in Japan wrestling 2 guys in the 80s just beating the crap out of each other. I mean, I watch a lot of random old stuff or a wrestler. I'll get on a kick. I'll see a video of Nick Bockwinkel doing an interview, and then I go watch 10 Nick Bockwinkel matches, from back in the day and go down some rabbit hole. Next thing you know, they're in a street fight in Okinawa or something crazy.
Exactly. I never mentioned this. I put it up there. Stacy G says, Tigs, your wife is so sweet and adorable.
Yes. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. And Rainey says the same thing. Tigs.
I'm glad. I was so pumped. You and Tammy got to go with y'all. Did the whole thing. I text Blasey. I said Tigs is doing exactly what I hoped he would do. I knew y'all would. I knew y'all would. And then the only thing
I had a moment of doubt for a moment. I just had
I get it.
I had to let y'all know what was going on. I wasn't pleased with the truck at the moment. Didn't feel good, but that's because the tire was going down. Once I put the new tire on, I went and took it for a test run about 10 miles down the interstate and came back, and I looked at Tammy and I said, "We rolling."
Let's go.
We rolling. And which is what that's what we all wanted to do.
Right. Exactly.
But we had to start to prepare for what are we just going to like stay here in Biloxi? Are we going to go to Gulf Shores? And
right.
we ain't going home. We ain't going home.
Yeah, that's what I told Sharice. I was like, it's her 50th birthday on top of this. They're trying to make a party. It's her birthday. They got, a whole deal. They didn't get out of town good, get sideswiped.
And it killed we didn't get to do much because of it, but we had fun going from hotel to hotel. That was fun enough. So we made the journey out of it.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so Rainey says that Tig's wife was awesome. Tigs was so-so.
No kidding. Yeah, if you get TNT together, it's perfect. TNT is like dynamite. That's the best. That's the best. Y'all are good solo, but boy, together y'all are awesome.
It was. We had a blast. I'm so glad that I got to come to Rainey. T. Wayne has known Tammy, my wife, my lovely bride, for as long as I've known her, pretty much too. I went to high school with T. Wayne.
Oh, nice. What's up,
together.
T?
Yeah.
T. Wayne. T. Wayne's what I call my buddy Terry Lee Palmer. I used to call him T. Wayne when he'd wear his big trucker hat. I said, "You look like your name's T. Wayne right now." So it's a compliment too.
It is, for sure.
Compliment.
For sure. Well, guys, we're going to come again live tomorrow night. It's been fun. I said we'd play a little Q&A here at the end. Let me find one question.
Q&A, is this drink working?
Yes. Yes, it is. I'm going to ask everybody this. This is everybody can answer. What is your favorite fast food restaurant? JR, what's yours?
Man, that's hard.
And we may have asked that on the show. I can't remember.
Well, I mean,
tonight.
If I had to just pick one, it's hard not to say Popeyes or KFC.
I think we did do that on the show tonight.
But Chick-fil-A is solid. I love an old school Crystal Square hamburger. I miss those. Those were good back in the day. But all of it's tasty and good. Usually depends on what you get. If you go somewhere and it's not a good restaurant, it's dirty and they smash your burger up and your fries are cold, it's not good,
Very true.
I had a Hardee's burger about a year and a half ago in Prattville, Alabama, where I'd eaten 1,000,000 Hardee's burger growing up, and it was one of the best burgers I've ever had.
I tell you what, man, I like old Hardee's and saw a bunch of them in Florida. There are none here in Louisiana, but didn't stop at one. Just rolling.
Grew up in Tallahassee, Alabama, that's what we had. We had a Hardee's, and across the street we had a Dairy Queen. Hardee's where everybody met for breakfast. Dairy Queen's where everybody got dessert on the way home.
That's right. Popeyes and Chick-fil-A for days.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong. Popeyes or KFC, man. You talking about some grub, and that's just and McDonald's is pound for pound. Just as solid. That's why there are a million places. Cane's is good, 100%. Crow's Chicken in Troy, Alabama.
Yeah, that's right. Crystal cheese and chili, Cane's.
Those pups
McDonald's.
they had, yeah,
man. I'm the same. McDonald's for me, pound for pound.
Yeah,
any town, anywhere, consistency. You can always count on them, and they're everywhere. But I like other places better. Surprised no one ever really says that they like Burger King anymore.
I don't hate Burger King. I
don't either. I like the flame broiled burger, but I just don't hear a lot of people going out of
their way. Y'all got off the hook where you're at.
We do. I've not eaten it one yet, but I have
that T-Boy burger.
I've heard it's
T-Boy
good.
burger. That's a good burger.
All right, I'm going.
And they're hush puppies. I mean, it's a drive-through fast food where you can get hush puppies. I'm all about that.
Stacy G's not big on it, but she does like ice cream. Stacy G is going to do something. She and I were visiting, and I'm going to try to do it. You know how much I love briskets and how much I love to cook briskets and all that. And we talked about it on one of these shows, one of these lives, a Jewish brisket, and I wanted to know more about it. We never got into it. We brought that back up at BARP. And she's going to get a recipe to send to me, and I'm going to record it and do everything. I'm going to make a Jewish brisket.
Awesome.
And see what's up with that. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm
I don't
looking
even
forward
know
to-
what's in it, but
I
look
don't.
forward
I'm
to
yeah,
it.
me either. I'm intrigued and excited all at the same time. That's awesome, man. I love new stuff like that.
Yeah, Whopper is too
Whopper.
messy to eat
No
at 80
kidding. It's
miles an hour.
yeah, I will say that a lot of times the Burger King, they put so much stuff, it's all dropping out of the bun.
Drips
It's
out.
everywhere.
Dude,
But
I
I tell you, Arby's too. Now Arby's doesn't get a lot of love anymore because it's kind of watered down. But when Arby's came on the scene, man, that roast beef and cheddar, man, back in the day, and my wife still goes up there and gets one sometimes, and get the little cheese. Their cheese sticks are good too, in a quick pinch,
Yeah, for sure. For
Good
sure.
night, Stacy.
Yeah. Good night. We're going to wrap this up too. I mean, we ended up going an hour, so we made up for last night, missing last night's show. Didn't talk about everything that we want to get into because we got to save some for the couch, right, JR? We're going to do that tomorrow night. But we got warmed up. Y'all gave us some good ideas too on some things, and we will see y'all planning tomorrow night, 8:30. But if for some reason we finish a little bit ahead of time and the three of us can all go on, then we'll probably just go live whenever. So y'all just be looking out for it. I'll put it, you'll get the notification or whatever. And that's how we're going to play it tomorrow night.
Hey, I want to give a shout out if they're watching or listening to the show, and I'm going to mention it there too. Shout out to the guys up at Natural State Wholesale in Cabot, Arkansas. Met a couple of really cool guys from the warehouse there the other day. They loved my hat. I had my Tigs Bit hat on. They both giggling about the hat. I told them it was a podcast. The one guy was like, man, I just got in a podcast. Show it to me. So he pulled it up on his phone, and the other guy downloaded it. So shout out to you guys out there working hard in the cold weather and working outside in this time of year. And shout out to all our new listeners out there. And if you're a Tigwig and know somebody who probably or may like some of the content we have on this show, tell them about us. Tell them how to find it. Tell them how to go on the green thing on their app or Apple or Spotify or wherever they can listen to podcasts and just get it going for them. And like I told that guy, every show may not be for you, but if you like food and sports and Southern culture and just fun topics, jump on and listen, and there'll be something fun for you at some point, I promise. And you'll be surprised how many people listen and enjoy the show, because I was surprised. I had a few people when I was up in Arkansas bring up things on the show, and I was like, oh man, thanks for listening. So appreciate everybody, old and new listeners, for always keeping up with us.
You mentioning that'll be something that we will talk about on our Bubba exclusive. That was my biggest takeaway, is I was blown away at how much we are loved. I had no idea. I'm just sitting in this studio in Baton Rouge. I don't see you guys, out in public very often, and not anybody around here. I don't get popped in the grocery store or something like that. I love Tigs Bits. But at the Bart party, everybody coming up, just too much to even process. I've just now.
So Seth's not mad at us. We're not on the chopping block.
I don't think we are, man. I feel good about things. I think we're going to keep being able to push forward. So that's good. That is good. I love it. This was a down to earth show, says Brian. It was. This was just us finally getting to catch up, honestly. So appreciate y'all hanging with us. Rusty says that he liked my Snow Angel. If y'all haven't checked that out, go see. If you want to see the most graceful fall of all time from a big man, go check it out, because you can see at the very end, I start realizing, oh my God, nobody's going to catch me. And I kind of catch myself before I gave myself a concussion. So it's out there on all of our socials. Go check it out.
Love it.
Yeah.
Thanks, y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow night.
See you guys.
It's Tigs tonight.